This video is under fair use. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticisms, comments, news reportings, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. CCNTV, bringing you captivating news since 2019.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Politics and Wellness. I am your host, Captivating Christian, for the evening, along with me and Brother Nate. And you beautiful, beautiful people will discuss everything from politics to, what's going on in the world. And we'll do it on this lovely Tuesday, as we do every single night. Thank you all for coming. Brother Nate, let me know when you're ready so we can get this party started, because it's a lot to talk about in such little time. But what's going on, sir? How are you?
I'm doing quite well. And yourself?
Good. I'm good. I'm not bad. It's been a long day. But it's always good because it's Tuesday, and I felt like Norbit, like it's Tuesday when I woke up this morning, because it was the day. Old Darnell.
Oh, you all excited about Darnell?
I was excited about Darnell, even though I knew what the outcome would be just yet. But it was just for the simple fact that the process was starting. the actual, like, okay, now shit's getting real for him, which I thought, like, kudos. But we'll get into that a little bit later. But first, welcome to everybody in the room. Hey, Patty Duke, what's going on? Chilling in the Heights, nice to see you. Regina, hello, welcome. Please make sure you thumbs up the video on your way in, and do note that your waiter or waitress will come around with your drink or beverage of choice. I am on my cleanse a little bit, so it's really just water and just water and other stuff. So
I need to cleanse too.
I've been alcoholing it a bit much, so time to just cleanse it all out.
You cleansing. You ain't cleansing. All right, that liquor cleansing something different. I need to cleanse. It's springtime. We all need a spring cleaning.
Yes, we all need a spring cleaning. And
I've eaten a lot of bagels.
All right, so
about 40 pounds worth of bagels.
Oh damn! That's a lot. That's way too much, even for me. But yeah, it's about that time. So I try to do that, and so that's where I'm at right now. And so it's just water. So it'll be a few breaks. So bear with me, because that water is just something.
Yeah, it runs right through you.
It's something. It's just absolutely crazy. All right. So like I said, I hope everybody's had a great start to their week. And of course, a lot has happened since the last time we met. But hopefully, we'll be able to touch on everything. And again, if in fact we missed something, you are welcome to DM me, email me. I have any other avenue that you can reach me. You can definitely reach me with stories and things that you come across that you would like for me to talk about. So please don't be afraid to do so. All right, so let's get this party started with, of course, the news. Yeah, okay, I had to fix myself. My hair was falling down, and I was like, I'm not a bald-headed scallywag. It's supposed to stay up, but it was definitely falling. So it should be in there now. All right, so let's get started with the first bit of news here. Are you frozen? Am I frozen? Can you hear me in the chat? If you can hear me in the chat, please press a 1, because StreamYard has been freezing as of late. And it looks like, there you go. Nope, you froze again. Hey, Jen the Goddess, thank you for stopping in. Please make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Okay, I can see you moving now, because you wasn't moving before. And then you stopped. Okay, thank you, Jen. All right.
Okay, it all caught up now. Everything. I was about 5 minutes behind you, because I was getting all the promos and all the rest. I could hear you.
Oh, okay.
So.
All right, I just wanted to make sure.
It's gonna be one of them nights, y'all. So
right. They mad, y'all. They mad. So first, let's talk about a news update. The actual supervisor that in the Terry Nichols death has retired before firing. Unlike the officers under him that he actually supervised, who were all terminated and fired because of their actions regarding the murder of, or the unaliving, however you want to put it. But here we, in the words of the Information Man Show, tell the truth. The murder of Terry Nichols, the Memphis police supervisor who was on the scene, who I believe they said tased him, I believe, during this altercation. He was able to leave, take an early retirement before they fired his ass. Why? We all know why. But of course, they tried to cite it for other reasons. Um, but they had no problem arresting all of the black officers who participated in that young man's death. But no, we couldn't do that to the supervisor, the person in charge of the whole goddamn group of thugs. No, we couldn't fire him as well and charge him. We had to allow him to retire to make sure he takes his his pension and things of that nature and tucks that away before he can, be brought up on some sort of charges, which he should as a supervisor, I personally believe. But that's just my personal feelings. But yeah, this officer was allowed to retire. The Memphis City Council members were, of course, upset that the officer was allowed to retire before steps could have been taken to fire him, including the council's vice chair, who said that it didn't seem fair that the unidentified officer, who later became identified, could keep his pension and other benefits, as I just stated. So, yeah, it's, you get a privilege when you ain't, as we know, when you're the other, you seem to get a lot of privilege when you're a saltine, and then they talk about how, they don't get any privileges and everybody's equal, or, all of this mess. And it's like, no, it's very much not true. For Terry Nichols' traffic stop on January 7th, which he was killed by 5 officers, all the officers who have pleaded not guilty have been charged with second-degree murder in the case. Not the supervisor. Supervisor ain't been charged yet. We just found out what he looked like. But no, he hasn't been charged. And so everybody else was not able to collect their pensions and retire early or anything of that nature. Everybody else got fired and was terminated. And is now, at first, a lot of them were in a certain part of little holding cell area. But I don't know. It's got privilege written all over it. But of course, what do I know? These things are so ridiculous. Oh, here you go, sir. I didn't know you were back. My bad. Oh, what? Oh. Okay, now you're back. Okay, hold on. I'll take you down and bring you back. I don't know, for some reason, StreamYard is just acting a fool. So we're just going to run with it. But anyway, I would like to know your thoughts on this particular story update about the Terry Nichols case. Tyree Nichols, I'm going to keep saying Tyree Nichols case, and regarding the supervisor. Do you think the supervisor should be in jail like the rest of the counterparts? I feel like if you're the supervisor, you're the person in charge. So you gave the orders to do so. So you should be held just as accountable as the others. And you should not be able to retire before justice has been handed down to you for being the person in charge of the whole unit. You should have to answer to the music just like everyone else. But, again, that's just somehow how this whole thing works when you're not like one of them. Also, in some other news, of course, we know what happened today. Today, Darnell J. Trump was arraigned today, not only for the hush money to Stormy Daniels because of that trying to kind of clean up the image or quiet the story so he could be more palatable to run for president in his election. Not only was that a small piece of it, which everybody seemed to hang their hat on like just that. No, he was found to be guilty of illegal criminality in election fraud, trying to pad numbers and do certain things to make himself look presentable, I guess, to the voting public. And it's actually 34 felony counts. Yeah, so it's quite a big deal. I mean, granted, people always putting their hat on, oh, it's just Stormy Daniels, it's just this, it's just that, 34 charges. But it's funny how if it happened to be somebody else who was charged with 34 felony counts, they'll be trying to throw them under the jail. But it seems that Donald Trump himself is getting so much privilege that he didn't even have to take a mugshot. So, you know, we didn't get to see a Tracy mugshot of the former president. They used the picture that he already had, and they put it up against the wall and used it as a mugshot. So, I mean, you know, and not to mention that Michael Cohen, his former lawyer, has went to jail for some of the same charges that he's been charged with to date. So, I mean, you know, I don't get how he's not held accountable. I mean, I do, of course, because of course, when you're white in this kind of situation, you're right. And especially if you have the money, they don't look at this crime as a true crime in their sense, in their eyes. Marjorie Taylor Greene said it herself, that crime to her and a lot of people who look like her are crimes that we all commit, not them, and especially wealthy white people that have money and commit crimes of robbery from banks and things of that nature. That's not crime necessarily. That's just all. It's not nothing that you should actually charge somebody with criminality for. That's just political. It's political unrest. But let's take a look at all of the crying and tears these Republicans were doing prior to today.
My heart is broken.
I'm holding my head down in shame.
I had some tears in my eyes earlier.
I feel bad for the guy. This is what it seems to be. It's a political purge.
This is burning down the rule of law.
This is going to destroy America. This is
like communist level shit.
This is exactly what happened during the fall of
like Stalin's purge.
This is literally legal
Bill of Rights.
Bill of Rights
is gone.
They have declared the Roman Civil War.
You can't trust Democrat prosecutors anymore if you're a fair citizen of the United States of this country.
Donald Trump because they're real you. After you.
They've spent probably trillions
putting you in your
place. We must make them pay a price. They've wanted violence from the right from the beginning. This is the season of them staging terror attacks and blaming it on Trump's support. I mean, we're in a police state. I'm not even arguing this. They're still not doing anything with Hunter. Think of the Hunter laptop. 33,000 deleted emails. This is too great an assault on our system. Much bigger. They will regret doing this. What you're seeing now is lawless. And people better be careful.
And that's all I'll say about that.
First time you get rid of 15.
DonaldJ.Trump.com.
Go tonight. Give the president some money. We're going to find Donald Trump and win this rally behind the man today with ham sandwiches.
Definitely shout out to the Lincoln Project for the particular news and update. One second, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, you're back. Hey, how you doing, sir?
Hey,
Okay, I can hear you.
yeah, I had to go mobile.
Oh,
All my shit's down.
oh. So, yeah, so that was, what I just showed you was, of course, them crying and boo-hooing about what this looming indictment would mean for the country. Because, of course, we cannot deal with somebody doing some illegal activities and not paying for their crimes. However, before I get to how Ms. Green was greeted in New York City, I just would like to remind these same crying folks who crying and feel so. And I watch Van Jones, so I feel so sad. I feel so sad because I don't like to see, somebody go through the justice system in this way. I feel so sad, and I'm like, that's funny. Did you feel sad when he was calling for the execution of 5 teenage black and brown men for an alleged attack in Central Park of a white woman that they did not do, when you was actually putting in full page ads for the execution and murder of these 5 young black and brown teenagers? Was anybody feeling sad then? Okay, no. So now we're not gonna feel sad now, and you still never apologize for it, not at all. So no, I don't feel bad and I don't feel sad. You do the crime, you do the time. I don't care if it's white collar, blue collar, no collar. Yeah, if it's a crime, you're gonna do it, and you gotta pay. That's just plain and simple. So here, let's take a look at how Ms. Green was treated in my very hometown city of New York.
You animal, you!
Are you pretty ignorant of
You animal! They're looking for you at the sanctuary! You filthy animal! You QAnon lunatic! Hit her with the space lasers! Blast her with the fucking space lasers! Get the fuck out of New York, you racist! Filthy, infected animal! Get the fuck out of here!
Yes, the best part of that was get the fuck out of here. Yeah, because truly, they talk all this shit about privilege and being an American, but it's always when they actually have to get down in the gritty with Americans, they are very fearful. They talk a good game behind the podium and on the TV and, in front of your face. And they have so much big balls, big kahunas. But when it comes down to actually moments like this, they run scared. So as you can see, she was greeted quite well. So I wonder how that's gonna go. Exactly what you said. Hey, my 2 cents. Nice to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Let me get to the questions. Sorry I wouldn't answer your questions because I was, busy just roaming around. Could we please not do this here? So, yeah, I can't get that out of there right now, but please, that's probably already been removed. Thank you. Let's see, what are they going to do to him? Now, I don't know. That's a whole nother thing. That is a whole nother can of worms that DC may take up on that. He's done this, and that's the thing. He did the same thing in New York when he was like, "Oh, Tuesday they're going to send me to jail, and everybody needs to show up." He did the same thing. So I don't even understand how they can excuse January 6th and say he didn't, because he turned around and did the same thing last Tuesday to kind of gear everybody up to come to New York and cause mayhem over this situation. However, people should have been smart enough to know if he didn't help you out the first time when y'all got arrested, what makes you think he'll help you out this time? Secondly, New York is a different breed of place. Yes, the nation's capital, they should have really dealt with things differently, but it's different. New York, there's money there. Not only that, but ever since 9/11, they don't play them games with all that. Like, you get to do a lot of stuff in New York, but doing the stuff that they did in DC, that wouldn't have happened. Some people, there would have been some bodies on the street, just point blank and period, and they would have probably, walked it back later or apologized or did some kind of kumbaya. But no, they would have tried to cancel some people had they done that. So, I mean, I'm hopeful that people did the right thing. Hey, welcome back yet again. Nice to see you.
Yeah, I think it's StreamYard because it kicked me off my phone. It's not even. It wasn't even on the through cable. I was on the phone,
right,
and it kicked me back off. So I'll be here and there, y'all.
Not a problem. Not a problem. So, real quick, what are your thoughts on this particular situation with your friend Darnell?
Darnell?
Yeah.
I just want to. I want to hear what the charges are for one thing. I want to,
right.
I mean, when they finally run down the whole list of, run through the whole list of all of that, and I'm just gonna sit back and watch. I'm not gonna get too excited because he is white and he does have the white privilege working for him.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. So do you think, my 2 cents was asking, do you think that he will be he will be charged for inciting the January 6th as well? What are your thoughts?
No, well, I don't think he will.
Really?
Yeah, I think he'll get away with it.
Wow.
I really do.
Doing it again because he did it.
Yeah, they'll make an excuse for him, and that's both sides. Notice how slow the Dems are moving. Like I said, I don't fuck with none of them. It's just a lesser animal on the Dem side, but they all can't. They can't let him take all of that because they're complicit in a lot of what he's been able to get away with thus far. So either that or it's not going to be enough to really deter anybody from doing it in the future.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. And I think that's the bigger problem, that you're not doing anything to deter future people. I mean, you even had George Santos, and that's the drag queen who lied about everything, got elected, and now the ethics committee is looking into actually getting him released from his seat. Why would he show up to New York? He showed up to New York for one reason and one reason alone. To already know whatever's happening to Trump, they may come after him next because he's done a lot of the same schemes. And if Trump can get away with it, he's going to use this to escape his way out of his own bag of tricks. Let's see. What do you think the reason why Trump is getting certain privileges is because he's protected by the CIA? Hell no, he's not protected by the CIA. He's protected by his whiteness.
Yeah.
He's protected by his whiteness. The CIA ain't got nothing to do with it. Nothing. To my estimation, CIA ain't got nothing to do with it. He's white, he's privileged, and he's been able to do this shit for years. It's not just because he's the president or because he was the former president that this has, just all of a sudden been. These have been business practices he's been doing in New York for years. And because, he'll throw a little money at certain politicians, Democratic and Republican alike, they have turned a blind eye to all of his doings. I mean, who can go around and get a loan from every single bank, every single financial institution known to man, and none of them now want to deal with you but one? And you have all this stuff going on. Nobody's allowed to do that. They would quickly blow a whistle on you and say, hey, well, you need to come in for questioning. We start looking into this. I mean, you can't even have $10,000 deposited into your account without it blowing a whistle. So all these years, he's been able to lowball his taxes, do all these things, and get away with it. Nothing has ever happened. Nothing at all. He gets in office, and all he did was stuff the people in the positions of power that would be able to shield public from seeing this true stuff, while they themselves were able to nickel and dime and steal some money for themselves. And they figure, well, if they get to steal, they'll hide his stuff, and that way, if something goes down, he ain't gonna take me down because I got his dirt and he's got my dirt. So
that's the whole thing. They can't allow him to fall because if he falls, everything falls apart. And I mean, you see a lot of it now, like with insider trading.
Yeah.
How you think they amass the billions and billions of dollars? Insider trading, all the dirty stuff. Companies paying them to push their products.
Exactly.
the gun, passing gun laws. What sense does it make for you to say, oh, we have all these massive killings, but yet down in Florida, now they have the no permit you can carry.
Right.
What kind of so they're all complicit in it. And what's making it really bad is that the world sees them as the hypocrites that they are. And what we've been telling them all this time, you think that this is the shining castle on the hill. Right. Oh no, this is a motherfucking outhouse. That's what this shit is. It's full of shit. It's full of shit.
It is a septic tank. It surely is. And speaking of that, of course, and we'll talk about it a little later, but China, Russia, and other parts of the world are coming together to create their own currency to kind of knock down the U.S. dollar. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, there's that alliance there. China's been very, very busy, and that that the Soviets are getting they're getting weapons and funneling money and things like that to help them in the war effort. But do you also know that Finland has now officially joined NATO?
Oh, yes, I heard about that.
And there's one more country I can't remember that's right on their border. But I really think that the world's posturing for another conflict.
Yeah.
It's getting to that point.
Yeah, I believe it, and people are drawing the lines, are picking their sides of who they ride with. But before we even get into that, because of course we got time to talk about that in Tennessee, of course, because we're always talking about gun control and protecting children, because everybody's on this abortion kick, but we're not about protecting children. We're just about protecting the possibility of having children, but we're not concerned about the actual child once they're here. The Tennessee House has moved to expel 3 Democrats after they protested with other children and young people in regards to guns and the gun protests and gun lobbyists, because they're the ones having to deal with these countless gun drills and countless school shootings, and constantly having the same thing where we're talking about having prayers and doing prayers. Prayers are not solving the issues that you're having with these school shooters. I mean, I don't have to point out that none of these school shootings or none of these mass shootings, and sorry whoever's been offended, but they don't happen in our urban city schools that have more metal detectors than some concerts I've been to.
Oh yeah, their protocols. Try to get down here in Baltimore City.
I mean, it's like going through that door.
I'll give you all grandma.
I really don't understand. It's like crazy, but yet and then it's we'll send prayers to the family and we need to see all the evidence. There's no evidence to see. There is no reason that we need to have so many guns in this country. There's no reason for it. It really isn't. It doesn't make any sense.
That type of gun. Why do you need military style weapons?
But I mean, and again, if you want to, collecting guns is your thing, whatever. But the type of assault rifles and weaponry that you have, if you're not a soldier, if you are not in active duty, why do you need that?
Because you sure can't hunt with it.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
You surely can't hunt with it, because by the time you get finished hunting with it, it wouldn't be anything worth salvaging.
Yeah, but these Democratic lawmakers,
but you know
Justin Jones and Justin Pearson. Yeah, they are.
I mean, but you really got to think about it. If you have a country that would poison its own people in a made up, trumped up, for the lack of words, for a trumped up drug epidemic with crack cocaine, why not use guns? That's the next thing.
Well, because one, they weren't trying to poison everybody with that.
No, they were trying to poison the rich people with that. No motherfuckers got hooked on that shit.
Yeah. But I mean,
you think we got the special recipe?
But again, that's what happens when they try to do something to kind of go after one demographic. It spreads to the point where they start, and then it's we have a crisis like they talk about now. Oh, this opiate epidemic.
Yeah, the only reason why we did so well with the fentanyl was the fact that they didn't want to prescribe us with the medication. Actually, prejudice worked for us.
Right. It does have its privileges.
But they and that was because the doctors wouldn't prescribe,
right?
The opioids and all the medications and shit. They tell you go take some Tylenol, which was probably bad for your ass too, could probably kill your liver. And just right on top of that. But I'm not surprised at what this country will do to maintain its status of the 1%. It's just how they are. They want to stay on top, and they don't care. I always used to joke that we will be the new third world, because when they started shipping everything out, as far as work wise, we make nothing. We make nothing at all. Now we have generations that, unless you go to a specialty school that you have to pay for, like electrician, plumbers, and things like that. We used to do vocational stuff right here. You don't have anybody that they wouldn't even know how to change a tire. You become that type of society. And what would eventually happen is, once the rest of the world catches up, and their wages, they want a competitive wage like everyone else. You no longer have the 12-year-olds, and that's why you got what's her name, Huckabee Sanders over there, letting children work.
Oliver Oliver will be working.
Can I have more chicken nuggets, please? There won't be no porridge. Can I have more chicken nuggets, please? And that's exactly what would happen. That and the fact that they would take advantage of the migrants that are coming up.
Of course.
The children.
You mean the ones that they want to get rid of, but they keep the children? They'll get rid of the parents and send those back, but they'll keep the children to have them work.
They'll just wait for you because there'll be a ending cycle. And I didn't know that when you over there, for the first 90 days, they don't even have to pay you minimum wage. They can pay you lower than minimum wage.
Look at that. You learn something new every day.
So I'd put nothing past this country. That's why our shit's fucked up tonight.
It makes you want to know who's been pissing in your Cheerios. But
I don't know. I had to go check outside, see if I saw any black vans.
I don't know because it's really looking bad. But it's looking even worse for this Louisiana government employee. Take a look at what he did first before we even get into the story, and then there's nothing else to be said. Take a look. Just looks like little Johnny just going to take a walk. He sees the camera. He moves it on up. He's standing behind a little machinery there. Wait, is he pissing? The man is pissing. My God, today. Louisiana sweet piss tea. Hopefully you guys are drinking bottled water. And especially probably in places where, we all live. Because that man just pissed all in your water. So you have been showering with piss residue all on you. Get your bottled water, people. Because they pissing in the reservoirs. Yeah, and they think it's funny. this 57-year-old government employee in Louisiana has been arrested and charged with multiple felonies for this shiznit here. Allegedly caught on camera urinating. I don't know if that looks like alleged. That looks like purposely in the city's water supply. That's why I said where he's pissing and where that water goes says a whole lot. But anyway, that's enough of this, because that's all he's doing. And then he walks back, and then he goes and fixes the camera and put the camera back in the downward position. But yes, this man is caught on camera. It is no alleged. He's on camera. He's doing it on purpose in the city of Louisiana's water supply at 2 separate occasions. Not just once, but twice. Yes, making his own personal batch of Louisiana sweet tea.
Sweet tea.
Sweet piss, okay? Louisiana sweet piss. Just pissing on you. So if somebody ever asked you if you taking a golden shower, if you live in the city limits of Louisiana, you probably have.
Yes, you have. Mm-hmm.
You probably have. And you can thank that white man for it. Because he pissed all on you. And you didn't know it. God damn.
Mm. And you can tell he was a man of a certain age because it took him a long time to piss.
Oh, yeah. He had to think about that. He had to force that out. That's 57. He had to force that one out.
Yeah, he about 40, late 40s, early 50s. Yeah.
He's 57. Yeah, he's 57.
Was he 57? Oh, that motherfucker was dribbling there. No more.
That was a lot of water. He must have been drinking a lot of water.
He couldn't make it. Shit.
No, he couldn't make it. But
and that's why you go have your prostate exam.
Oh my God.
Let him go ahead and do it.
That is horrible. That is horrible.
He was fired, correct?
Yeah, he was fired.
Well, I would hope so.
Yeah, I would hope
still
so.
Making tea.
Jesus Christ. Like, that is ridiculous. But yeah, so not only on one occasion, but on several occasions he's been caught doing it. So I'm just on the first time, what do you get written up? What, they just gave him a warning? Hey, film
all MAGA. It's all MAGA. You know how that goes. But they probably somebody when they pulled the tapes. And somebody, you know how normally they would keep that stuff in house, but somebody else is probably looking at the tapes and caught them doing it.
That is absolutely ridiculous. I will never look at tap water again the same. That's just horrible. My goodness, my God. So please, golden showers.
No, but not only that, you think about all these other towns and things that are having issues with their
water,
their infrastructure. And then you're doing some nasty shit. Like, I know he's a Trumplican. You know he's a Trumplican. You know that it was right down there in Mississippi. Not only did they take over the goddamn city, they pissed in the water.
They pissing in the water. Drink my piss. So of course we talked about earlier about holding on to your wallets, about the new world currency that could be making its way courtesy of BRICS Nation, which is the actual group of Russia, Vladimir Putin, China's president, I believe
South Africa,
Brazil. I think they're looking also at other nations joining, like
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia, yeah, Saudi Arabia is a part of their little group to kind of knock down the U.S. dollar. I mean, Russia is in a battle with Ukraine that, of course, the United States have constantly been supporting and giving money to and aid to the Ukrainian nation. And of course, Russia, even with the sanctions, has been getting help from China and Saudi Arabia as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if they are kind of backing who they back. And want to kind of put a little fire to the competition. But what this will do long term, or how this will affect the U.S. dollar, time will tell. But I'm sure they're scheduled to have a summit in August of this year. So it shall be something interesting to watch. But yeah, so it's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, along with, of course, Saudi Arabia as well. Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of odd because usually China and India are at odds.
Yeah.
I thought they would be going after each other real soon.
Right.
Because they've actually fired shots and have killed, soldiers on each side.
Yeah.
So, I guess to really dominate. Well, shit, you done sent them all the business.
Yeah.
They're making all the money.
They're making all the money, right. Right. I don't know. When I even saw South Africa in it, I was like, what? But then I realized China has been pouring tons of money into South Africa.
Yes, because they own base. They opened up ports.
Yeah. So
and even like in South America, they've done the same thing. They have ports all up and down South America, which they do the same business dealings as the same way that they've done with a lot of these African countries. Once if the country defaults, it becomes property of China. Now, how much shit does China own over here? They own a lot of pork.
Yeah.
And that makes Muslims happy because they don't eat that shit. You vegetarian people, I like meat.
That all depends on who's doing it or who's drinking it. I guess I don't know. Speaking of craziness going on in the world right now, Clearview AI has scrapped almost 30 billion images from Facebook and other social media sites and gave them to the cops. So basically, potentially, you are already in a lineup, whether you know it or not.
Smile. They already have your picture.
They have your photo and your image. And
every time, what is that they show you, the anniversary one every year? Just think about it. Every year they show you that anniversary thing pop up. They got your mugshot.
They give you a collage of your anniversary pictures once a year. And note that your pictures have been sent to your local police departments for lineup possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's crazy. So be mindful of the stuff you post on social media. I mean, it's too late now, but
Yeah, because how much shit have they given away, and they're going after TikTok. Now you know what too. Remember they wanted to do CC cameras everywhere, like they do over in China. They don't have to because we post so much shit.
They
know exactly what you look like. They just collect it.
Yeah,
we gave it to them.
Yeah,
we didn't know that they were. We didn't think that they were that bad. We knew they were bad, but
30 billion photos. That's a lot of photos.
Yeah, that's a lot of
That's a lot of damn pictures.
And they got them all.
Have used the database for nearly a million times. That's what the CEO of the company told the BBC. One digital rights advocate to the Insider told that the company has the total affront of the people's rights, full stop. Meaning, basically, you violated the people's rights. They don't give a goddamn. They're doing it for the safety of the public.
Mm-hmm. Patty says she don't post shit.
Good for you, Patty.
Good for you, Patty. They got us.
They got us. Right? They definitely got us.
Oh, they see you on here as a blue pea.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. But that is definitely crazy. So definitely look into that. That's a good story to check out. And also, what was this one? Lady G is back in the news a little bit. So Lady G, otherwise known as Lady Grantham, had to go upon the ethics panel committee for his soliciting campaign donations during an interview in the Senate building, which is a violation against election ethics rules. Of course, he cried and whined that it was a mistake, that he would never do it again. However, some Democrats are saying BS bullshit, that no, he should be held accountable. This was during Herschel Walker's campaign. If you recall, he was crying and screaming to him, "Oh, y'all see money to Herschel Walker right now. He needs it right now. So I need to change these panties because they're riding up my ass crack." But yeah, he was crying about.
He probably wish they were.
Huh?
I said he probably wish they were.
Yeah, I mean, he likes to wear them thongs for the boys. So he, was doing all this crying, begging people to donate to Herschel Walker's campaign because he really needs it. Because if the Democrats take that Senate seat, you're not going to see in America anymore. It's going to be so different. It's going to be so gay. And I'm going to be so happy that it's gay because I can finally live in my own truth because I've been a single man for so long with no woman.
What is with him and that goddamn Van Jones? They're forever shedding a tear. I
don't know. I really don't know what Van Jones' issue is. Van Jones, he worries my being. Every time I just shake my head. He's just one of those like, why? How much are they paying you? Because
he's a flip flopper.
Yeah, you're just a paid. I mean, there's nothing you won't. I feel so bad for him. I just feel sorry for him. For what? The man did it.
I'm dying to hear the remarks about Van Jones tomorrow.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Then we don't have, just like prime example, the March Madness, the girls with Ohio, with Iowa and LSU. All the girl did was the same shit the white girl was doing. Sorry, yep. and she's rude, she's ghetto, she's this, she's that, and Jill Biden wants to invite them both to the White House. No, that's not how it goes. You already know how it goes. The White House invites the winner to the White House.
No, that's because you saw it in real time. You're seeing all this shit down real time. Their slippers showing. Okay,
yeah,
they got so bad that they just panic now at every little thing because that's who you are.
Right. Yeah.
That's who you are.
Yeah. And it's like, granted, I don't get it. Granted, you may be, for certain rights and for certain equalities, but at the end of the day, you still carry a white flag and you still, you support your whiteness. You don't ever turn away from it. So when you see it affronted by someone who's not white, you step into that. How dare you? That is so How dare you do that? If you ever wanted to try the experiment, do it to one of your colleagues. And you see how quick they run to go, psst. If you just say, no, that's not how it's done, you do it this, or you just, assert yourself in your power of what you know, and you see if they don't go run and tell. Mm-hmm. When they feel affronted. And you could be exactly right with everything that you said, but it's when you show that bit of, I can actually do something better than you. I'm better than you. It's that instant. They can't help themselves. They cannot help themselves. And even when they see it, it's instantly like, no, we got to invite them both to the White House. For what? The loser's never been invited to the White House since when? Mm-mm. Now, many of the teammates can decide not to go to the White House when they're invited, but championship winners always invited to the White House. I've never heard of, we're going to invite the losers too.
That sounds like Little League stuff.
Yeah, right.
That's stuff that they do with Little League.
Grown-ass women.
They're going to give them a trophy too, and an award.
That's grown-ass women, because when the white girl was doing it, they were praising it. Oh, look, she's so strong. She's so bold. She's so this. She's so that. Okay, the black girl did it back to her. Then all of a sudden it's, that's so unsportsmanlike. Oh, this, that, and the other. Come on, y'all. Really? Seriously? Again, they're allowed to now freely be exactly who they are. It's almost like, I've said it before, it's like the Wiz when they start unzipping and coming out their clothes. Can't you feel a brand new day? This is it for them. They out dancing, they getting it because this is how they feel. We're the ones sitting up here acting like Van Jones. I feel sorry for them. I don't know why. Fuck them.
Yep, fuck them and the horse that they didn't ride in on.
The boats that they rode in on, the boats that they shipped us in on. Fuck them. I mean, at this point, why are we catering? What was the point? I know how you feel. I see it. I believe it. Great, good. Again, I wasn't looking at Dr. Jill Biden as Michelle Obama. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. She may, in fact, have a good girl Judies that happen to be black. She may, in fact, have them. But at the end of the day, if she sees something up front where somebody of the other race is taunting and she gonna feel away. She gonna feel away. She's not gonna look at it as, because you can't. I mean, it's just in their nature. They can't do that. They can't just see that as two athletes, battling out and talking trash, because that's what people do. Because she was talking trash too, so it was like, okay, cool. You dish it, you can take it, but don't dish it and then you can't take it when it's dished back to you, or because who was dishing it back? Oh, she shouldn't have done that. That's unsportsmanlike. Come on, if you don't go sit the hell down somewhere, sit down. Sit down. Let us sit down. And other news, and I'm sorry, I just got on my little high horse for that one, but it annoys the shit out of me. California police unions have executed a union executive director was running a fentanyl operation from her home. White woman. From her home. One more again for the people in the back. A California police union executive director was running a fentanyl operation from her home. A little humble abode. Oh, ain't nothing to see here. We just live in the suburbs. But wait. I thought, excuse me, was it Marjorie Taylor Greene or was it one of them just this week talk about fentanyl and how it's being shipped out from our borders? Did she mean it was coming like this? Wait a minute. Where's my video? This is what Marjorie Taylor Greene said, how fentanyl is being smuggled across the border. This right here, that's a Border Patrol agent. That's Maria Sanchez Rodriguez Hernandez Chilpa. That's who that is. And of course she wouldn't steal that. She looked like she got a baby in her right now. That thing was huge.
Where's Melissa at when we need her? I don't know how they make burritos.
What the hell? But that is how they say, that's how they say the borders are not being protected. But here you have old Lily White's, okay, police union director running a drug ring out of her home, using her office computer and UPS account, okay, to order and distribute the opiates. But we have an opioids crisis, and it's coming from Maria's twat. Help me, please. Help me understand. Help me understand how we go from Doritos, tacos, Velveeta shells of cheese, ding, ding, ding. That's the bell. Drugs being smuggled. Now, all of a sudden, California police union directors, Lily Whites, Lilibeths and all them things, is out here selling dope, selling fentanyl. That is the major cause of death between young white people, which are making the old white people very scared because they don't have nothing to leave to their children and grandchildren. So they're so nervous. This fentanyl is taking them out here because they're just taking it and dropping it like flies. So they're trying to stop it, but they got their own people selling it to their own people. Don't that sound familiar? Isn't that what they were saying we were doing back in the 80s? Selling the dope. You're killing your own people. You're selling the crack to your people. Well, you're selling the fentanyl to your other little whites, and the police is doing it. But you're gonna say that the police ain't a gang and the unions aren't a mafia? They're not really. So they don't have control of the guns and the drugs, right? So when these drug dealers are saying that they've been robbed and they've been executed for allegedly dealing drugs and things of that nature, but you come to find out that all this money is missing and all these things, well, who you think is stealing it? These mobs, these police mobs, these thugs, these people that you give tons of money to protect and serve. Who they serving? They like McDonald's, billions and billions served, huh? Yeah, that's what they doing? Damn. I'm not surprised, though. Y'all may be, but I'm not. That's just crazy. God damn. And you sit there and say, you blame it on Maria. You blame it on Maria traveling in her little suitcase in between her legs. Was she pregnant and already? Who's going to think that Maria got something that size, some fentanyl wrapped up? Because nobody's going to think that. But Becky is at home. She's backing the blue police union. Nobody thinks that she's selling it from her own home. God damn. I'm sorry. Your thoughts? She's facing a maximum. Look at this. This is even better. This makes it sweet. You know how many years a lot of people have been in jail? There's some young people that have been in jail since they were 20s and 19s and teenagers, and they are grown, sometimes even grandfathers, that they've been in jail so long. She looks at facing a maximum of 20 years. Oh, so you don't get the Rockefeller sentencing because you selling drugs. You don't get those. You don't get those 30, 40, 50 years.
50 years those life sentences.
You don't get them long ass sentences. You get a maximum of 20 years. They don't say you may get out possibility of parole. They're not gonna say that, because of course that would cause uproar. They're not gonna tell you that. They'll let you get charged and whatever your sentence will be, then you'll go back a couple months later and you'll keep trying to appeal it while we're talking about other things. Look over here, look over there. And you'll be appealing. Look at the dude that murdered George Floyd. He's still appealing. He's appealing right now.
Every week.
Every week. Every week. Yeah, so that was interesting.
No, that was nasty.
That
was nasty.
I
can't do that Taco Bell.
Yeah. I love Mexican food. Do you really?
Hot Pocket.
Yeah. You mean deep pocket? Talk about deep state.
Yeah, you see how big that thing was?
Jeez, wow. I know she didn't feel it. Look at her stomach. She looked like she already had a baby or is pregnant. Yeah. I think that thing was like already just like gaped. She probably had more than that up in there. Just talk about a mule for real.
The special sauce.
Yeah, right. Everything. I don't even want nothing.
I'll take the mile. I'll be all right.
I don't even want nothing. I don't want nothing. I'm scared. I'm really scared. Speaking about being scared, Idaho is about to be the first state to restrict interstate travel for abortions since post Roe v. Wade. Meaning, they find out that you're leaving the state, going to any neighboring state to do an abortion, you will be facing fines, jail time, all of the above. They might even look towards the death chamber or some shit for some people. Who knows? The way they're going right now, they are serious about this shit. And yeah, again, you care more about people aborting babies than you do care about saving babies in school. So they can't learn, right? So yeah, make it a place, make a learning place, a place where you have to then be fearful of getting shot, right? So then your only option is to go work the factories at 10. Oh yeah, but that's the Christian way. That is the Christian way. Yeah. Jesus was in the synagogue at 13. Why can't Billy be in the factory sniffing glue at 13? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. What children do we care about?
No, it's make them money.
Yeah.
That's what that pulls.
Oh. So the unborn makes them money?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's just crazy. That is crazy. I don't get it. I really don't get these people, man. I try to get these people, but I don't. And some international news that it's really not news, but there's some international news. Black children, get a little of this, in England are 11 times more likely, to get strip searched in Wales and in England than their white peers. Surprise, damn it. Surprise.
They have a smaller population than what we do over here.
Right. They have a much smaller population than we do over here.
That is the source.
Yep.
Over there in Europe, you can't get no more pure racist than that.
Right. You can't get no more Anglo. You can't get no more Anglo-Saxon than
even though they've had their freedom a lot longer.
They have.
But they are the source.
They are it. They are the source indeed. But definitely check out that. The data that was collected by the commissioner found that there were at least 2,847,000 records of strip search of children pre-arrest across England and Wales between 2018 and 2022 under the stop and search powers. Remember that stop and frisk? Look, England's doing it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, it is crazy. Black children only make up 5.9% of the population. Let that sink in. 5.9% of the population. And they get strip searched more than their white counterparts, which make up 42%. Mind you, that the metal detectors in the urban schools and the no detectors in the white schools, don't it? But yet they doing all up the shooting in the white urban schools because that's the safest place to be.
No, our lunch ladies are trained to handle that type of shit over here.
I mean, the lunch people are carrying. They'll take a kid down in a minute. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. Help me understand.
This shit is just so crazy, man. I mean, every week it's a new chapter. Yeah, every week.
It really is something. You can't. I don't know. You can't even make sense of it. You can't. I mean, I try in my little head to kind of put some things together, but it just don't. I really don't get it. The unborn will become factory workers. I'm sure they will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oliver Twist is about to be real. Can I have some more?
Again.
Yes, you're gonna be. That's it. You either you get adopted and you're going to the factory.
They'll have work for them. They will. You got to work for your keep.
Yeah, that's it.
You definitely have to work for your keep, and I feel sorry for them. Yeah, and you thought it was bad. They were making minimum wage or being paid under the table, not even a living wage. Shit, you can't even get a damn living wage.
That's it, right? You barely get a living wage.
And that's exactly what's, like I said, this is going to be the new third world.
That's it. You sitting up here laughing at them kids walking around with flies skating around in their eyeballs and swollen bellies. Well, you wait a while.
Mm-hmm.
You wait a while. It's crazy. That is absolutely crazy.
Good evening, everybody coming into the chat.
Hey, welcome everybody coming into the chat. Sorry, I was just running off.
He just rambling. Yeah, all right.
Yes. But yeah, it's just absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. All right, so I think I've finished everything. Let me know if I skipped something. I think I hit everything.
Let's see.
But I did run across this TikToker who had a great idea of what we should do as far as gun legislation and gun laws. So I'll let you take a listen to that while I prepare for what you said next.
Hey, we've had some very spirited debates about gun violence over the past couple of days, haven't we? I'm so glad you guys have been here for it. So I have 4 radical ideas. They're going to seem radical, but when you listen to them, they'll make a lot more sense for stopping gun violence. First off, we have over 400 million weapons in America. And I don't think we need any more. Not a single one. So all gun manufacturers, shut them off. We're good. We have been at this buffet for a while now, and we have filled up on bread and chicken fingers. We're no longer hungry. We're good. There's weapons out here for every man, woman, child, fetus, and unbusted nut. So guess what? We just don't need any more. We don't. We're good. Number 2, if you want to buy something larger than, say, a shotgun, you go from a 22 all the way up to a shotgun, you go through the regular process, like you would when you're buying any other weapon. If you want to buy an AR-15, it will be registered to you in a database with the federal government. Everyone we have out there right now, register that motherfucker. Whether it's for government use or just personal use. You want to buy it? Cool. You can buy it, but you're going to have to register it. And you will bring in liability insurance to buy it. Yes, you will bring it in and you will show proof before you even buy. And number 3, no more internet sales of any weapons. Ban them all. If you want a weapon, you will go into a licensed, bonded gun dealer and buy them there. Now, there's a whole bunch of people who's going to be in my comment section, but my Second Amendment, I did not take a single gun away from you. Not a one. I just made you more responsible with the ones that you want and the ones that you have. I didn't take away shit. Nobody said you got to register your shotgun or register your handgun. No, just an AR-15. Anything bigger than that, anything bigger than a shotgun, you will get it registered. Period. Want to buy a Uzi? Want to buy a MAC-10? Register. AR-15? Register. You will have liability insurance on it, just in case your weapon is used someplace where you're not at, and it's a mass shooting. And no more internet buys. It's kind of cheating if you think about it. Nope, take your ass into a regular dealer. So, radical only depends on how you look at it, but it at least makes people responsible for their weapons. What do you think?
I agree. Hey, responsible. Get insurance on your shit. So when Bill goes and start lighting up shit, no problem. We'll just take that insurance policy, that $1 million insurance policy, and pay off the families. We're going to stop having these cities and counties, taxpayers paying for a lot of this pain that is being caused. But, I knew something was wrong with him or her, but we was trying to seek to get help. Okay, yeah, right. Yeah.
Maybe you will secure the weapons a lot better.
Maybe so. Maybe not buy them if you got to register and have insurance on it. So you just can't have it just to have it to play around like, you were before Armageddon or some shit. If you don't go sit your ass down.
Especially over the internet. It's bad enough that you can go into a gun, you can go to one of those gun shows.
These farm fairs and buy a gun. That's how easy it is. So the fact that they can do this over the internet and it hasn't been, but you sitting up here looking at who's looking at what and what they're looking at, but you can't control gun sales over the internet.
Yeah, and they should really, really penalize if you have one of those modified, say like with the bump stocks, things like that. They'll tell you, or if you sold the how-to kit, how to hack your gun, they should really hit them with a hefty fine for that also. Because there's no need for you to have a military style weapon.
Yeah.
I mean, the only saving grace is that
this is not Call of Duty.
We would never be invaded because the whole goddamn society has weapons.
Right.
You're not going to just walk in and it's like, you know, you might come across a shotgun or some shit like that. It's like, no, half this stuff out here, especially half of the modified stuff out here now. Sheesh.
Absolutely.
Those extended clips. In terms of regular a regular so like a 9mm or something, like so a semi-automatic pistol, all that kind of stuff. It's crazy.
Absolutely sick.
But yet you paying. We done set these motherfuckers up for life, and they sit up there and tell you that they can't do nothing.
Yeah.
Who was that one? Who was that one? That one dumb fucker that said that shit. He said that shit out loud on the camera. When they asked him about that, and he was like, "There's nothing we can do about it." Then you don't need to be there. We need to get somebody. Yeah. That's why we need to be able to get rid of these bastards.
Right. A lot of these people, one said, oh, we need to look at, I can't think of his name, but he said, we need to look at all the facts. What facts are there to look at? Children have been killed because somebody came up in there who was not even supposed to be there, but I don't, and again, it's still not mathing for me how you equate your bullying from high school to being a grown-ass adult, being removed from high school to come back and shoot up the school. It don't make sense to me. It does not. I need another story.
It's like the kids that were bullying you aren't even there anymore.
I
mean, I can see if you went for a staff member, then just go for that staff member. Why?
Right. But I just don't. I don't. It's not adding up to me. It don't make sense. I just think it was because. You see, Tucker Carlson jumped on it real quick. See what they're doing? These trans and they're shooting up schools. And I was like, I knew they were going to do that. That's why I said last week that it sounds like a setup to me for them to use.
It still sounded like white nuts.
Yeah, right.
I don't care what pronouns you use. It's white nuts. Please don't come and bash me. They still sound like white nuts to me.
Yeah. In or out nuts, there's still white nuts. However, just absolutely crazy.
And I ain't talking about just crazy nuts. I'm talking about nut nuts.
I'm not going to. And with that, we are on to Who Said That. All right?
Who said that? Who said that? Who said that? Who had been saying that? Who said that? Who said that?
We're going to stay today. It's not gonna stay. All right. Here won't stay. It just keeps falling. So anyway, we're just gonna rock out. So much. Okay, so this is the time for anybody who may be new, and if you are, welcome, and thank you. And as everybody said, hit that like bell, but please hit the like button. It does help get the stuff around because what we talk about is real issues. Now, maybe not here at this point, but early on in the show, yes. It is always real news because real stuff is happening. And of course, YouTube and the others would like you to talk about fictitious stuff because it makes them money and it makes us kind of numb to the real stuff that is happening to us and to our people. So, of course, there's times where we need to let the hair down, no pun intended, and just really, have a little fun. And this is that part of the show. So on Who Said That is where we talk about stuff we've heard on these YouTube streets and other places. And so right now, what seems to be the hot button of these YouTube streets is a few things. One, Ness No Mess had a wish list on Amazon, which there's nothing wrong with that. If you put a wish list out and your supporters want to support you and help you, that is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, a lot of people think it's begging or things of that nature, but to each his own, whatever. My only little issue or critique with that, right, would be if I'm asking you for something like as if I can't get it or my finances are not up to par for me to get said item, I should not be on camera smoking weed because weed costs money, right? So drugs and things cost money. So with the cost of items that cost money, if you're asking me for something where in which it costs money and you say you have none or you know your finances are not there to get said item, but I'm looking at you buy other items that cost money, my thought is, well, if you stop doing that, then you can buy what you need to buy for yourself, right? But again, as content creators or supporters of content creators, you can do what you want. It's your money. It's like that commercial. It's my money and I want it now. It's your money. You can do what you want with it. But to me, that's just a thought that pops in my head when people say that. However, long story short, this list was purchased. All these items on this list was purchased, right? So then there was like this joyful celebration of, oh my God, all my items were purchased. Thank you so much. Whoever did that, oh my God, I love you guys so much. You love me. You shower me with your love. I feel great for it. Come to find out, some news had dropped yesterday because when it was returned, the items were returned, there were a few people that were blamed for this mix-up. She's been going back and forth arguing with Jay Dunn. So that name was thrown out there that Jay Dunn was the one who bought these items and returned them back to be spiteful. However, in the wee hours of the morning, we come to find out that it was not Jay Dunn who returned these funds. However, it was Skillet. And I said, Skillet? What's Skillet got to do with this? So then as I go, as people start talking, I'm popping here and I'm popping there, just so I can figure out, well, what does Skillet have to do with this? And myself said, So I'm just listening. And pow, it comes out that Skillet actually did it because Ness was talking shit about her going to court with the defendant, of PA, the Pittsburgh Zoo. So, with that, she said, "Oh, gotcha, bitch. You want to talk shit? Gotcha." So she bought up all her shit on her Amazon wish list and then returned it. I said, God damn. God damn. If that ain't a gotcha, bitch, I mean,
that's definitely.
That's a gotcha, bitch. But
definitely gotcha, bitch.
Yeah, that is I don't know. I mean, there's just kind of. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. Because, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like that was a big no.
That ranks as one to remember.
Yeah. That was just as big as Esmeralda's pill coming out of her twat. That was a move. Yeah. So I don't know. So my question is to Skillet, and not that you would probably answer me, but are there more people on this list that you have like this vengeance for? Is this like the sniper? Is this like
that's the fun thing about being vengeful? You just have you don't tell. You never know. Everybody's on pins and needles. You just wait for them to strike.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who's gonna be next? Who's gonna be sniped?
Who's gonna be next? That's right. He be sitting up there. There's another one. God.
Just
headshot. Nothing but headshots.
All that the kind you like. But yeah, that was absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Now, also with that, recently, actually, as I was still working and kind of coming out of working, kind of getting everything geared up for this show, Jay Dunn entered back in the frame of things because she was doing a live. And this was towards Brian. Now, allegedly, she's saying that he had an issue. They were talking about each other's mom. She mentioned his mom, and he got mad and mentioned her mom, right? And she's saying that your anger has been displaced. You should be angry with the people who was talking about your mom, like Duchess and the Zoo. And so that's what she felt the anger should be. So she was saying some things, and I was just like, okay. I wonder what Brian's response is going to be to that. However, I was watching Brian's response to the Zoo because that actually was pretty interesting. So I don't know. It's a lot to watch. I really just don't. I don't know. It's a lot going on in these streets. Other than that, just same old. Kind of just peek my head in to see all the things going on, but it's just for entertainment purposes. It's like listening to the radio while you're working. It helps the day go. For me, it definitely helps the day go. But as far as like all the intricate players and you kill me with that. I don't know, but I just thought it was quite interesting to know that Skillet was the one who pulled the trigger. And I was wondering, like, do you have others on your trigger?
Oh yeah. It's probably a board. There's a board set up. And we'll cross that one off. Okay. And you just sit back and wait, and you wait for the opportunity.
Wait for the opportunity to get the next one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Lindsay said he talked about her mom first, though.
Oh, did he? Okay. Well, then I get that. I get that because I didn't know. I was confused about how it all began, but I don't know. Those are touchy situations.
Oh yeah. You could definitely get your ass stomped out.
That's like that. Yeah.
Especially because he just lost his mom last year. Right. So, and I remember, and I can honestly say I was horrified by the shit that I heard come out of certain people who will not be named. I thought it was really uncalled for. Yeah. So
that's what it. And again, people, you can't tell people how to be. Like that's not beef. That's not beef. Beef is clearly something you could say something about somebody, but you don't have to go there with it. You don't have to be.
Yeah, that's a one-on-one.
Yeah.
That's a one-on-one. It doesn't involve. That's like with the whole children thing.
Yeah,
it doesn't involve people outside of the outside of this realm. Let me see. He said get killed wherever. Yeah, internet stuff is wild. Yeah, it is wild.
Yeah.
Like I said, people think you safe behind this fucking camera.
Oh yeah, no, you're not safe.
You're not safe
at all.
And don't go knock up on nobody's door. Somebody come out with a gun, pop your ass right on their step.
Don't do it. You're coming out there. Oh, it's a glorious. It's a glorious day. Don't go to try to get no hot wings. Thinking you got your favorite spot and not get.
Be followed. Get followed outside.
So, and that should teach everybody. Just make sure you're on your best. You may not feel your best.
Not wearing a holy house dress.
You may not feel your best, but you always have to present your best. You hear me? Mm-hmm. That is a word.
Always looking, and it only had to be them. It could be somebody else that fucks with them.
You never know who's watching, so just be mindful. Who's that looking in the window? Pal, nobody now, like the song says. Just be careful. Just be careful. People are crazy. With that, that's all I had about that. I did, as far as shows are concerned, I have watched Snowfall, the latest episode. So please get into that if you're not already watching that. It is so good. They just had the scene with the funeral of said person. I'm not going to give too much away for those of you who probably haven't watched it yet, or maybe just catching up or what have you. Definitely check that out. Awesome show. Really awesome show. But I really want that CIA agent to really get his. I'm so sick of him.
Oh yeah, I'm so sick of him.
burns my nerves. Like just souls to them. I'm just ready for him to go down. But I know him going down is going to be this big thing that's probably going to either take Franklin down too, or it's going to be a different Franklin by the time it all comes.
He's changed so much from the very beginning.
Yeah.
So he's already really changed so much.
Yeah. So very much. Other than that, what else we got?
Have you seen the new Monique stand-up, our stand-up on Netflix? She finally got on Netflix.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay, what's your thoughts on your fellow Baltimore?
To me, it wasn't her best. I hope she was. It wasn't her best to me.
Oh,
it was all right.
Okay.
Because I also watched the some more one also.
Okay,
I like some more. Some more was funny.
Some more is funny to me. Period. Like I enjoy her comedic timing. She's funny to me. I don't really,
Yeah.
I watched the reading, and I was just like, okay. But to me, it all kind of muddles in the same thing for me. For her, I see Precious mom, like it just
the same character. Is that what you're talking about? She's actually playing the same type of character. Well, she's typecast.
Well, I mean, she typecast her own self a little bit. Because for me, if I'm looking at any actor do any kind of thing, it's like, okay, I want to see you here, and then I want to see you here. And when I see you in the other genre, I want to see a different embodiment of. I want to see you be whatever that person or time period. I want you to totally be immersed in that, and it's almost like it's. I don't ever see that. I always see like, at first I was like, why is she whispering? Why is she talking like this? Why is she doing that? Then all of a sudden it was like, okay, here come Precious mom. Why you bring that white woman to my house? Animal. Then it was like, okay, I get it now. I see you. But other than that, let's see, Creed 2 or 3. I haven't seen that yet. We'll be watching to check that out, and as well as Avatar, I'll be checking that out as well too, because I haven't seen it yet. I'm late, but
what did Fab say?
That I'm late. We did power to the people fist when Trump was arraigned. No, I mean I did a little celebration, a little shindig, but I mean I was working still. However, it was what it was. I mean, granted, I knew that they were going to give him here's your paperwork. Now you can go back to Florida. Because again, that's why he immediately, before he left the White House, changed his place of origin from New York City to Florida, because he already knew way beforehand that was going to happen had he landed in New York.
Yeah. Did you mention how much money he actually made so far from this whole thing? Trump.
Well, I know in the 3 days he made $1 million.
Oh, it's like 7 to 8.
Wow. So I know in the first 3 days when he said it the first time last Tuesday, he made $1 million. Was it $1 million?
1.5
or something like that. He made 1.5 then, and then they just kept throwing money at this. But what I'm trying to understand is the man already has money. So what are you throwing money at exactly? Granted, he may not have as much money as he claims that he does have, but what exactly are you throwing money at? Because really, y'all just paying his bills. Because the National Republican Committee convention people are paying his legal fees. So much so they can't even play for a viable candidate to run for any of the other seats that are going to be in 2024, because they're too busy paying for his legal things right now. So, but this is the type of stuff that this is what y'all want. This is your champion Trump. This is your people. This is your guy.
But you should feel real stupid. You giving a so-called billionaire
$1
money.
million money. Yeah, right. They just got so much money. I never lose. I always be gonna win. So much winning. You ain't won shit yet. Nothing. Now, granted, you weren't a viable candidate himself, and to be honest, Hillary wasn't that much of a viable candidate, and people just decided not to vote. So you got lucky. Then you fucked that up with the coronavirus, point blank and period, and it ended. That's it. You think if George H. Bush didn't win the Gulf War that you would have been praising him? He even got dethroned after winning. And that's never happened. Who wins and still loses?
My question is, where's Melania at?
Melania stayed her ass in Florida.
She said, Donald, you go be best. I stay right here.
And she got dug out by the pool boy or pool boys.
Well, as long as somebody getting dug.
Right. No.
Or digging.
Digging dug. But
I still think I know that was nasty. Ooh.
But she had to do it to get the money to secure the bag. So she had to have the kid to secure the bag. But who would want to?
Yeah, but look, see, lady, that's why you don't mess with old man. That old tired sperm, that boy looks slow as shit.
Calm and slow, winky. Just crazy. What thing? But I mean, just robbing the people blind. They even got T-shirts with a fake mugshot talking about free Trump and all this other kind of stuff in 2024. That's crazy. But this is the same people that was calling for Hillary, lock her up, and still talking about Hunter Biden's laptop. Hunter Biden is not the president of the United States. I wouldn't care what he had on his laptop. I don't care if he had a Mickey Mouse snorting coke out of Minnie Mouse's butthole. It really doesn't matter to me because he's not the president of the United States.
Look, speaking of Walt Disney, they fuck Ron DeSantis. That was such a good fucking
beautiful. Beautiful. He's so mad he want to go back and now cancel Disney's whole thing. He wants to go back and renege on the deal and cancel the whole thing.
They tied that up so bad.
Yep.
I had to listen to it 3 times to understand. It was like, what the hell does Prince Charles's heirs have to do with this shit? But it's put it like this. He'll never see it in his lifetime. And the real bad part is they got stuck with the people down in Florida got stuck with the paying the taxes on the road.
Yeah. They got stuck. It's like, okay, that's what you want to do. All right, cool. This is what we can. Oh, cool. As long as I get my people on the board. Okay, cool. Get people on the board. Now the people in Florida got to pay the taxes that Disney's been paying. Booyah.
Let's see what Tiffany Bass said. Who do you think will be a strong president for upcoming war involving China, Russia, Saudi Arabia versus the United States? Well, it won't just be the United States. Just the United States itself. It would be NATO.
Yeah.
It would be NATO. Who would be a strong president? It wouldn't be Donald Trump. Because Donald Trump, they gave the only reason why they're really flexing.
Honestly, I think they're doing this now because of him. It was like if this happened,
because it would have been free. It would have been free for all. Just like the balloon. The balloon, they finally found out that this balloon was maneuverable. And it's been flying around taking photos of the military base. And that's because the whole time it wasn't weather.
Right.
But
because as long as they were padding the pockets and paying for the hotel rooms, the keeping the hotel afloat by buying all these rooms out and not utilizing them, they were able to do other things, and everybody else turned a blind eye.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think Biden. What we have to choose from now, I think Biden, because he has been in government so long that he knows his way around it and how he could actually pretty much get what he wants.
And then it's the people
rally, because I wouldn't put a newcomer in
this situation. No.
In that situation, no, because they would freeze and it would just be disastrous. I mean, but let's be realistic. When was the last time the United States has actually won a war?
Right. A real one.
A real war.
Not standing, over here just throwing missiles and then boom, the person just gives up like, okay, we had enough. An actual real one, like actual combat.
He said he can't even tie his shoe. No, I saw him run to that podium. I was like, well, this motherfucker get ready to stroke out. But that's the whole thing. But he would be able to put people in place.
Yeah, I mean, people are already in place, I'm sure.
Yeah, not like the clowns that Trump had in place. I mean, these pseudo whatever, they're just entitled alone. But
had never had anything to do with government or anything. They just in there because, hey, boss, you got a room for me? Can I get a cabinet seat? It's like,
I'm not gonna have my pillow guy in charge of the Navy. Okay.
Right. Everybody gets a pillow. Like, no, crazy. It's gonna be really crazy. It's about to be really crazy. So trust and believe all your products that you get from overseas about to go up.
Yeah. So I would kind of limit. Make sure when you go on eBay or Amazon, pretty much anyway, see where it's coming from. If it's not stateside.
Oh well, they don't tell you that anymore too much because they don't want to deter people.
They stop doing it. Well, so that's one of my main factors. If it's not stateside, and they can't get it here within a certain amount of time. If it can't, because nowadays you can get it here within 2 to 3 days. Shit, I've gotten shit from the West Coast overnight, and it was nothing really special that you had to pay for. But if it's not stateside, be kind of careful. You've been lost your money. Don't think you're in the middle of a war that somebody you're gonna be able to get in touch with customer service because that shit ain't happening. That shit ain't happening.
No way you get the downturn.
Yeah. But you knew that as things started getting, as our resources and things are starting to become limited, there's new minerals that they want to secure, that there was going to be conflict regardless. You have China that still wants to take Taiwan back. Everybody's trying to snatch up territory. So it's something that would eventually happen. But they're seizing this opportunity because we're at our weakest. We're doing a lot of internal fighting right now.
As far as to answer your question, Tiffany Black, in regards to business as usual, but that not only does it have to do with presidency, but we're talking about the government in and of itself overall, like even Congress. Some of these old fogies on both sides need to leave. They need to go. They have amassed fortunes beyond measure. Dianne Feinstein. Oh, bad as hell. You know how much he's worth? Like, really? You're not even going to use that money. Granted, your grandkids, your great-grandkids, they'll use that money, but how do you make that much money being a public servant? Because you get the insider trader deals, you get the little whispers, drop this stock, put more money here. I ain't tell you that. Because you're working in a place in which they do that all the time to make sure they get certain deals and different situations cut. So these people are making crazy money.
And that's all it's been about the whole time.
That's the whole time.
Literally the fleecing of America. Yep. And you're right, Tiffany. We were saying earlier, China has been snatching up a lot of territory and under the disguise of we're going to help you develop your country.
Right.
and
But
they
that's
sign
what
these contracts where they're pretty
Yeah.
much signing over their
Stuff.
land.
That's it, and stuff.
These naval bases that they've naval ports that they've opened up for for commerce and things from the Chinese. Yeah, we'll pay for everything. You just make sure, but don't you be late because your ass will get an eviction notice, and we're gonna take your shit and we're gonna turn your shit into a military base. That's what it was designed for.
And rename it.
Mm-hmm.
Just absolutely crazy. I'm telling you.
Oh, look, when white people start getting real nice to black people and people of color, war's coming. You better be. Tell your youngins don't fall for that shit. Don't be over there fighting for Uncle Sam's bullshit. You don't worry about that shit until they come knocking at your door. Wing Wong Ching Chong. All right. Fuck
China,
that shit.
Look what China did. Look what China.
Then all of a sudden, we're all Americans now. No, Black Lives Matter, bitch. Fuck you. You fight that shit yourself. Do that shit yourself.
No way.
Black Lives Matter. I'm just gonna sit this shit out. That's think about it. Tell them college look good, don't it? Use those same loopholes that they do. You ain't got to do nothing.
I got bone spurs.
That's right. You got bone spurs. I got hemorrhoids, bone spurs, and sniffles.
And a fentanyl addiction.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I can't. How am I gonna? I get high a lot. A lot of them be exempt, and that's right. Let them fight that because that's the first thing they'll do. All of a sudden, we're all Americans. We're in this thing together. No, I wasn't in that thing together because we wasn't doing that shit. Hey, no nonsense. How you doing? So don't let them fall for that. If you have an only born son, tell them they don't have to go.
That's it. Yep.
The only male, you don't have to go. But I was wondering, do you think that they would start to draft women? But no, let me rephrase that. You think that they will start drafting females?
Yes.
Okay.
In this go around, if they were to do it again, yes.
Yeah, because our peacetime effort is I don't know. It wouldn't be geared up for a world war, because shit, I would I better not be laughing because my ass, they hit that motherfucker 60. My ass ain't going nowhere.
They'd be like, oh yeah.
I got my nuts had dropped. I can't carry a gun. I can't do that.
Carry my nuts and my gun. I can't carry the gun.
That's right. Can't carry the gun. Shit, I can't even see. I don't be out on the battlefield with bifocals on. What kind of dumb shit that look like? I can't even see this motherfucker.
I didn't have time to get my contacts in my eyeballs.
Oh yeah, but they start getting real nice, and then all of a sudden we're all American. I ain't singing no shit. I don't say no Pledge of Allegiance, and I don't say I don't sing the anthem. I'll sing the black national anthem. That's right. Lift every voice and sing. They'd be mad as shit.
You better be.
So let them go on ahead and do the patriotic thing.
Yeah.
Let them stand right in line. I'll be right here making tacos.
Yeah. don't make none of Esmeralda. Don't make those tacos.
She's the delivery one with the mild sauce.
That must have been an Uber Eats.
Oh, you know what? That is nasty.
That was an Uber Eats delivery. Ooh.
I was just keeping it warm.
And he wanted a hot kettle. A warm hoagie.
You read the Nobel and you're like, wait a minute.
My food wasn't even hot. Yes, it was. It was in the oven.
That's right. It was roasty toasty. That was so nasty. So nasty. Let's see.
Anyway.
Yeah. Going right.
I can't.
They say, eating a bunch of cheeseburgers, you have to be at a certain weight to join. No, they'll take anybody.
Oh yeah. No,
They're not as.
Well, no, they go.
hard.
You got to be a certain.
You have to be a certain weight.
Yeah, you got to be a certain weight class and all that to actually. I mean, they'll shape you into.
Yeah, I was going to say. I thought you would.
They'll put you in a pre kind of thing to get you ready to actually go in and live. But yeah, you do have to be a certain.
Shit, be like Putin, just snatching them all off the street. He don't care who it is.
He don't give a god. Right now, you don't care. You
kidnapping other children.
And kidnapping the children at the border. Once he takes over a city in Ukraine, he kidnaps the kids.
He kidnaps the children.
Force the parents. You want your kid? Come find him. That's fucked up. But ain't no different than they taking the Mexican kids and sending them to New York and other places as they deport the parents back to Mexico when they was doing it to the Trump administration. No different. No different at all. But anyway, all right, guys, that's all I got for tonight. Of course, if you have any news, anything updated, if you follow me on Instagram, Facebook, wherever, Twitters, if you're nasty, you can definitely send me any stories or news updates, anything you'd like. What was this? I'll take this one on the way out. Hey, you guys think there'll be more cyber wars like crashing comments? I mean, yeah, they're doing that now.
Yeah.
We are doing it now.
And remember, too, China has been stealing our intellectual stuff for years. Yeah. So they haven't been innovative, as far as building these things and doing these things on their own. They've stolen everybody's intellectual property. So you're gonna have that going on there. So but we're already we're in a proxy war.
Yeah,
we're fighting through. We're fighting through the Ukraine.
Right.
It's easier, and this is what accelerated the United States as far as being a superpower. Also, is because we never fought a world war on our soil where you had to rebuild cities.
Right.
You always fought in somebody else's backyard and tore their shit up. Right. you know how when, excuse the expression, when real niggas come over and tear your shit up, then go home and take a plate. Okay, right. It's one of those things.
I'm gonna take a plate every day of the week, so I don't have to cook.
And leave nothing. Leave you nothing. Then you go to look. You just said some shit for yourself, and your shit gone too.
All gone. Had your mouth all fixed for something, and it's gone.
And the only thing you can do now is keep some cash in the house. Just treat it like you were treating. Treat it like you were treating the chlamydia.
Do like grandma used to do. Put some cash underneath the mattress or something.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, did you?
Be worth much.
That one about what is it called? It's a new Fed now. It's like it's the federal government. Like you would use PayPal or whatever. I don't know. Let me see.
No.
If I had dropped that down in here. No, it didn't come through. I don't know what happened.
So they can keep more track of your money?
Yeah. You
know what? I saw something that's blue and it had almost like a presidential seal card on it. Is that it?
It's like PayPal, Zelle. You know how you would transfer your money to if you were buying something off of Amazon or buying something from eBay or something. Right. They're the broker, the in-between person. Instead of you using those, they want you to use, what is it called, Fed Now or whatever. But
I saw something. It was like a blue card with the eagle bird. What's on the back of the dollar. It was like that symbol, but it was a blue card. I just saw something
and that's supposed to be rolling out in June, and they're saying not to go with it because what it does is the government actually sees what you're purchasing.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's always a loophole to
as soon as I find it, I'm gonna send it to you because I can't remember the name of it. It's called Fed Now or something like it's. It sounds real, like Star Wars or whatever that shit is.
Here we go.
That type of thing. But
Space Force.
Space Force. It sounds like one of those things. But what it does is it allows any purchases that you're doing because they're talking about going to a digital currency.
Oh God! I mean, they see what happened with the what you call it, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the crypto.
Yeah, because it's not backed by anything. Just like the dollar bill, it ain't backed by nothing.
No, it's paper notes.
It's just paper.
They just keep printing.
Yeah, but what if I come across it? I'll come across it. I'll send you that shit.
Yeah, of course.
Laughing the whole time. But it was one of those real things. It's like, well, God, these motherfuckers are really getting ridiculous. But then too, you got to sit and you see what the Republicans are doing, and you see what the Democrats are not doing. And like I said, and that's what tells you that they're all dirty.
Yeah, it's good cop, bad cop. I'll let you be the bad cop, but I won't stop you from doing whatever you're doing because in the long run, it benefits us both.
Mm-hmm.
It benefits us both.
Yeah, and one last thing, that movie that we were talking about the violence, the black violinist, something Chevrolet, Chia Villa, something like that. That doesn't come out. It doesn't drop until the end of the month.
April?
It won't drop until the end of the month. Mm-hmm.
They've been pushing that thing back forever. Okay.
Yeah. We say, get yourself some precious metals. And see, that's what a lot of the other countries have been doing. They've been securing gold.
Just make sure it's not a Donald Trump gold thing, because that shit ain't working.
Yeah, no gold bullion with his face on it.
Get yourself a brick if you can. Get yourself a brick if you can.
You say bullets.
And some bullets. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah, because you know that.
Well, get yourself a gun first. You can't get no bullets without no gun. You know what? I got plenty of ammo, but I ain't got no.
You got no gun. Be throwing the bullets at people.
What
was that?
He's sitting there looking like March of the Wooden Soldiers with Laurel and Hardy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hitting it with the paddle. Boy, you were way back for that one.
Yeah, that was my mom's favorite. So whenever it came on, you had to sit and watch it.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, get them rednecks. Right. But with that said, guys, I am done. I don't have anything else for you guys until next week. But of course, if I come across anything that is entertaining or something you need to know, check out my community wall, because that's where the post will be. And check out other things too, because if I'm watching something early in the morning and it catches my attention and it's funny, I do post it on my community wall. So definitely check it out. We can check it out together.
If you come across anything, drop a note.
Yeah, if you come across anything, definitely drop an email, drop a note in the DMs or whatever, because I definitely enjoy, getting different information from you guys. Those of you who follow me on Instagram and things of that nature, thank you so much. Can't thank you guys enough for participating and dropping stories or liking and commenting on different situations. I always feel like, it's an extension of what we do here on Tuesdays, which is so awesome. All right, with that said, Brother Nate, you got anything you want to add before we get up on our hill?
Nope. Everybody stay safe.
Yep.
Be aware of what's going on. It changes every minute.
That's it.
Yeah, don't get too wrapped up in the Donald Trump shit.
No,
it's just going to be a shit show. That's all. It's going to be a shit show. Pay attention to what's going on in the background with all this other stuff that's going on.
Why you think Darnell ran for threw in his hat to run for president so fucking early? Because he already knew, and they had already told him, well, if you do this, they can't really do much, because if they do it, you can just say it's political. What is he doing right now? It's all a part of the plan.
Oh, thank you, no nonsense. You can't see me act stupid.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, you guys have a great night.
Oh, that's right. We got to moisturize. That's right.
Yeah, and stay moisturized. And wash your damn hands.
Look. Oh yeah. That's right. Because you got some new germs around now.
Yeah,
people not washing their hands. They done went back to their own nasty habits.
Yeah, washing their hands. You already know some of y'all ain't washing your asses. At least wash your hands. You're gonna be.
You know what? When she popped that taco up there. That's right. And stay hydrated. That's right.
It's getting warmer.
That's why, because over here that's why we use Duke's products.
Products.
That's right. She has a whole line.
Anyway, have a good night.
Good night, everybody.